15 myths about death people need to stop believing. Misconceptions about death and grief are prevalent, impeding the healing journey and burdening mourners needlessly. Disposing of these myths and facing grief with a compassionate, grounded perspective is paramount. Welcome to my channel God's Care, Jesus. Let's start this meaningful video with likes, shares, so keep watch till end. Grief has an endpoint or follows a predictable timeline. Grieving is a complex and individualized journey without a definitive endpoint or timeline. The experience of grief differs significantly among individuals, influenced by various factors such as personal coping mechanisms, support systems, and the nature of the loss itself. This emotional process can persist for an extended period, from several years to potentially lasting a lifetime in various manifestations. The first year after a loss is always the hardest. While the initial year following a loss can be incredibly challenging, it's essential to recognize that the grieving process may not necessarily get easier beyond that point. For many individuals, the subsequent years can pose just as many difficulties as grief continues to evolve and manifest in different ways over time. It's a complex journey where emotions, memories, and the longing for what once was can resurface, requiring ongoing support and coping mechanisms to navigate the waves of grief. Subscribe me for more videos. Time heals all wounds. Simply allowing time to pass isn't sufficient for healing grief. Engaging in active mourning, processing the emotions of the loss, and seeking support are vital steps in healing. It's important to acknowledge the pain, reflect on memories, and gradually work through the grieving process authentically and meaningfully. Time and deliberate efforts to address the loss can contribute to a more profound healing experience. You should be over it after a certain amount of time. Grieving is a deeply personal journey that varies for each individual. It's essential to recognize that this process has no fixed timetable. It cannot be hurried or artificially shortened. Each person's experience of grief is unique, and allowing oneself the time and space to navigate through its complexities is necessary for healing and eventual acceptance. Grief and sadness are the same thing. Experiencing grief encompasses a multifaceted spectrum of emotions that extend beyond mere sadness. Alongside feelings of sorrow, individuals may grapple with emotions such as anger, guilt, and, surprisingly, fleeting moments of joy amidst the tumultuous journey of coping with loss. Staying busy is the best way to deal with grief, while engaging in physical activity can benefit overall well-being. Allocating time for acknowledging and processing emotions is equally vital. Instead of solely focusing on distractions, taking moments to reflect on and understand one's feelings can lead to a more holistic approach to mental health and self-care. Moving forward with your life means forgetting the loss. Moving forward doesn't mean forgetting the past completely. It's about finding meaningful ways to honor cherished memories while embracing the present and looking toward the future. The goal is to balance fondly remembering the past and actively engaging in life's journey. Everyone goes through 5 stages of grief. The 5-stage model, initially proposed by Swiss-American psychiatrist Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, is a common framework for understanding grief. However, it's important to note that grief is a complex and individual experience, not always following a linear progression. People coping with loss may go through a variety of emotions, such as denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, but these feelings can manifest in different sequences or even simultaneously. It's essential to recognize the uniqueness of each person's grief journey and provide support tailored to their specific needs. There's a right and wrong way to grieve. Everyone experiences grief uniquely, influenced by personal background, relationships, and coping mechanisms. It's essential to recognize that grieving is a personal journey, and there is no one-size-fits-all approach to navigating the emotions and challenges of loss. You should always stay strong and not cry. Crying and expressing emotions is a healthy and natural part of the grieving process for many individuals. It allows for the release of pent-up feelings and can aid in processing the loss. Insisting on always staying strong might unintentionally suppress emotions, potentially prolonging the grieving period or leading to unresolved emotions surfacing later on. It's important to honor one's emotions and give oneself the space and time needed to navigate the complexities of grief. Talking about the deceased person is harmful. Sharing memories and engaging in conversations about the individual who has passed away can offer a profound sense of healing. By reminiscing about shared experiences, recalling anecdotes, and reflecting on the person's impact on your life, you can not only cherish their memory, but also find comfort and solace in the enduring presence of their legacy. This act of reminiscence provides a therapeutic avenue to navigate through grief. It fosters a connection that transcends physical absence and ensures that the essence of the departed individual resonates vibrantly within your heart and the hearts of others. Children are too young to understand death or attend funerals. Children, just like adults, experience grief when faced with loss. It is required to recognize that children have unique needs when processing and understanding death. By including them in age-appropriate death rituals and conversations, we can provide them with the support and guidance necessary to navigate this challenging aspect of life. This approach allows children to express their emotions, ask questions, and better understand the concept of death in a safe and nurturing environment. The pain of loss will go away if you ignore it. Ignoring grief doesn't magically make it disappear. It lingers, waiting to be acknowledged. By facing the pain head-on and allowing ourselves to work through it, we pave the way for healing to begin. It's a journey of recognizing our emotions, accepting the hurt, and gradually finding peace within ourselves. Only family members truly grieve a death. Friends, co-workers, and even acquaintances can also experience profound grief following the loss of a loved one. Grief's impact extends beyond familiar relationships, touching the lives of those within broader social circles and communities. It is a reminder that empathy and support are vital in times of loss, and that compassion knows no bounds, reaching out to all affected by the pain of grief. There's a normal amount of time to grieve before returning to regular life. There isn't a set timeline for when someone should return to work or resume usual activities after a break or recovery. It's a highly individualized decision, influenced by factors like job demands, physical capabilities, and overall well-being. Assessing personal readiness and seeking advice from healthcare professionals is crucial for a smooth transition. Recognizing the nuances of grief and death helps manage expectations effectively. Understanding the intricate nature of grief allows for a more empathetic response to loss. By dispelling myths and embracing reality, we can provide better support and create a compassionate environment for those dealing with grief's complexities. Disclaimer: this list is solely the author's opinion, based on research and publicly available information. Hey friends, for a good wish fulfillment, please share this video to your 5 friends.